Having taken this drawer out, it's a very good example of this part, which has been in the dark in there, compared to the rather faded, albeit different material, on the front. I'm wondering if it's been restored or merely conserved. In other words, minor repairs done to prevent further damage. The tiny knobs have got a decoration which resemble the pattern of the little wire knobs on the purse that we've recently looked at.
But they're also similar to some on the bone objects that we've got, that the Napoleonic prisoners of war made.
Now this is in beautiful condition. Look at that central panel. I should think it's had pens at some time. Looks like ink splodges.
What's it made of in the middle, the pattern in the middle?
Feels like woven, a woven material rather than the wood. But you see, this is woven. That's not wood, is it?
No.
I think it's a woven decoration that's been stuck on. The same as this.
Yes, it's when you look here where the pattern's missing.
Yes.
It looks if it's something that's been stuck on.
Added, yes.
A little bit like the borders around the caricatures at Cork Abbey.
Yes. Well, if this is Napoleonic, we're looking at the same period, aren't we?
And these two little partitions have been opened until the fabric or something has got worn away or torn off or something like that. And there's something being spilt in the middle one.
Yes.
And a sort of circular, I think that looks like a bit of an inkwell or something, or an inkwell which is a bit more inky than they thought.
There's something here on the front. I think there's been a hinge here and another little flap which possibly closed up to there. Not quite sure how it would close, unless
Is this coming?
that. And then the other thing, possibly, there's marks here.
It almost looks, when you see that, it's almost like a bureau, isn't it? With the
yes.
There's also a compartment at the top here, which again has beautiful work.
Yes.
Inside. Two sides and a gap in the middle. Don't know whether that is just missing or
A different
it was
fabric.
something different there.
Does that
Yes.
meet? No, that doesn't
No.
match. It's not. No.
Now this one looks as if there's been almost like woodworm, because it's a beautiful sort of almost 3D pattern, isn't it?
And it was something missing from the middle.
See, these look like very recent screws, possibly putting that lid back on.
Yes.
But it's very firmly fixed otherwise.
Yes.
What do you think it was used for?
I think it would go on a table. You would do the writing on the table, and you'd have your ink, possibly an ink bottle in there. You would have sections for different pens or quills. We might even talk about quill period for Napoleonic times, although nibs had come in, I think. Possibly what today we'd count as drawing pins, but they would have a different, they would look different. Drawing pins, paper clips, equivalent. Things for writing.
Yes, it could be. rather small. I wondered if it was rather an opulent doll's house furniture, but perhaps
Big
not.
doll's house.
Hmm?
It would be a big doll's house.
It would,
to
yes.
have an
yes,
item.
yes.
Was it a test piece?
That's another possibility, isn't it?
Because they've even got glass in here,
Yes.
and yet it doesn't look as if you can get into that part. There's a little drawer
There's
underneath, but
If you take that drawer out, are we looking at hidden compartments? Not really. I can slide my finger up. It's an arch like that coming this way. In other words, the side walls of this central bit are not complete. You can just get your finger onto the top of that. Because one of these drawers had some spare parts to it. Oh, well, that's not new. That's not, it's not brand new, but I don't think that kind of thing, where you put it through the paper and then open them out, I don't think that's contemporary with this. It's much newer. But
Yeah.
that, and possibly that,
That's,
and possibly that,
that's,
and those two could come from this. But you've got a modern drawing pin, a modern screw.
yeah, but the screw is, something is screwed in there, isn't
Oh
it?
yes, yes. But here's a screw which doesn't
yes,
fit
yes,
that.
yes,
And I'm just saying that is just
yes.
much too recent.
Yes, yes, agreed.